You are listening to the 188th episode of the Game Out Loud podcast, your one and only podcast for everything gaming. I am again your host this week. I guess this is what we do now. This started off as a 3-host system, but given the fact that I'm the one who's responsible for breaking everything when it comes to broadcasting and the like, I guess now I'm just permanently hosting. But I guess that means that I get to have a little more standard, more structured system, right? Like I can make this work the way I want, the way. Whatever. We're just going to do what we normally do. We have Mr. Kevin... Wait, no, this is mirrored. Mr. Kevin Kirk right here above me. How you doing today, sir?
Good day, ladies and gents.
And
I'm doing well.
Oh, you're doing well? Good. I'm glad to hear it. And then next to him, we have the dynastic Dylan Smith. That's right. He is multiple generations in one.
Oh, if it's an Asian thing, though, man. The whole being one with the universe, too, doesn't hurt.
Surviving on just dew.
Yeah.
Sweet. You'll notice that there's no Rob here this week.
At a time.
And you'll also notice that we're recording on a Tuesday, which is a little strange. That's because Dylan here decided to break his computer. Now,
yep.
I have to do this, Dylan, because the public has to know. Man, I am so disappointed in you, sir.
I'm sorry.
You were the worst troubleshooter ever.
Indeed.
Like, so I tell Dylan, hey, we're going to try to record this podcast. It's 11:30 his time at night, and he has to be up early that next day. And I call him, and he's like, hey, my computer won't turn on. So we go through a few steps, and he's like, and then I start getting more in depth. He's like, dude, it's 11:30. I'm going to bed. I'm like, okay. So we'll talk about this later. I call him the next day. He's like, hey, my computer works. And I was like, oh, what'd you do? He's like, well, I did this, and this, and then I hit the power button and it worked. I was like, but which part fixed it? Which step? Can you tell me that, Dylan?
I'm not sure. It works now. That is all that matters.
All I know is when I plugged it in after I'd done all of it, the power button on the motherboard lit up. So my problem was gone.
Sweet. I'm glad to have you back. Glad that your computer is not KIA. And
me too, actually.
If this happens again, let's go ahead and structure that a little bit better so we can troubleshoot the problem. To
like 11:30 at night when I usually go to bed at 9 is pushing it, and then I have to be up a couple hours later.
You got this, dude. I go to work on 2 hours of sleep and then work for 14 hours, son. Boy! But I also am somewhat crazy. But I'm crazy about video games, too. How about you, Dylan? You crazy about video games?
A lot. Not all.
not encompassingly crazy?
No. More of like, it depends on the crazy. Because like if it's that like really hot girl crazy, I'm not that.
Like, wait, no, you're going crazy for the hot girl or the hot girl crazy as in like she's hot, therefore crazy?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. How about you, Mr. Kirk? Are you hot girl crazy for video games?
I'm just hot girl crazy. So, there's that.
Okay. It's just an all
so I guess the logical deduction now is, Jordan, you're just a hot girl.
Yep. Look at all this. All this can be yours for the only lots of money. But let's talk about some video games. And now, given the fact that Dark Souls 3 released today, we're going to go ahead and exclude that from our conversation here because I want to have a conversation at the tail end of this thing about about FromSoft games in general, and then an intro into Dark Souls 3. So let's go ahead and exclude that. But Mr. Kevin Kirk, what have you been playing this week other than that awesome Lord and Savior Dark Souls 3?
I've actually been playing a lot of Street Fighter.
Alex came out, right?
Always training. Yes, Alex did come out. The first downloadable character, free to anybody that owns the game until they actually implement their store into the game. But yeah, he's a really fun character, really true. I mean, his almost carbon copy of his character from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. So anybody familiar with his character in Third Strike, you will definitely be happy with what they've done. They've implemented most, if not all, of his supers in some way, shape, or form.
I really hate fighting you when you're fighting him, when you're playing with him.
You don't like his V skill, or
yes,
his V trigger.
It is bullshit. He punches through everything and then combos into an attack that hits you really hard, and then it goes into a suplex that does even more damage. It's bullshit, I think is the way you say that term. Is that right? Bullshit?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No,
pretty fucking much.
It's a parry. He has a parry in Third Strike. Third Strike was all about staying really offensive, and to do that, if you pressed forward right as an enemy was hitting you, you could parry their attack. So it was, is this person really going to attack me with this quick hit? Is this person going to attack with something that takes a while? Because if you missed the timing on it, you were going to eat whatever attack that they were giving you. So that was them trying to add that into his character in Street Fighter V. I guess for people who don't know, Street Fighter V is supposed to be a direct prequel to Street Fighter 3 because numbering reasons and Capcom. But yeah, so they tried to implement as much as they could into it, and they actually did a really good job.
I am fine with skill-based parries. What I'm not fine with is an offensive attack that parries an incoming attack, stuns, and then connects. That is such bullshit.
The only reason it's connecting is because you're not blocking after I parry that attack. Because once I go into that, like if I go into that clothesline, if it doesn't, like if I don't have it all the way charged up, and especially if I parry it, it doesn't auto hit you. It's only on a full charge will it crush your guard, make you stunned, and allow me to suplex you.
Oh, okay. So I can actually block that then. I didn't realize I can block that second attack.
Your hit buttons right as that and I guess that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to fluster you. It's supposed to make you freeze up and like try to hit buttons.
Which it does quite well for me.
That's Alex.
Yeah.
But been playing that. Been playing Quantum Break as well. So.
Oh, do tell. That just came out last week, or was it? Yeah, last week.
That was last week. It's an interesting game.
Made by Remedy,
having
correct?
a lot of fun with it. Yes, it is made by Remedy Games. So, for those of you that have certain problems with Remedy games or certain qualms with them, it does have some of the staple Remedy things. It has great storytelling. It has great character development. It has great characters, but it is a little short in length. They did supplement. I have not beaten it yet, but from what I can tell, I'm not far off.
Okay.
But one of the things they do is really interesting is that in between chapters, there is a live action television series that runs in tandem with it. And based on decisions you make within the game, those decisions will be reflected in these live action episodes.
Now,
and they are full-length episodes.
Given the main actor in the game,
Sean Ashmore, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assume that these like 20 to 25 minute videos are actually just Animorph episodes that they cut from the Nickelodeon season, and they're now putting them in here.
So you are not far off from the mark. There's some Animorph episodes, a couple episodes of Smallville. He was in that. If you remember, some just unused footage, reshots. I think you can see Lex Luthor in the background in a couple scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's actually like it's really good. It's a really interesting way to tell the story in your game. It works for the story that they're trying to tell. And there's always going to be some I don't want to say confusion, but more time shenanigans, I guess you can call them, with when you're dealing with time travel. So while it kind of feels like some of their stuff doesn't make any sense, heck, maybe it does. I didn't study it. So
is it a non-linear story as far as the time and progression goes?
No, it is hard to say without giving things away.
Okay.
But if you're interested in it, definitely give it a shot.
Now, does it feel like a Remedy game, and what I mean by that, that's come to mean kind of clumsy movement, clumsy like offensive. It's very unlike the Max Payne series where you kind of felt like you were a badass. The rest of the games they seem to have made recently kind of leave your character feeling more like kind of like every man. Did that kind of come along here as well?
So he definitely feels like the everyman. He is, just more or less your average Joe, has, a bit of a, what we call troubled past, nothing like major, just, family drama, stuff like that. Something that most people can relate to. And that works just fine. There's no problem with it there. Um, one of the main things about it though is that he is a very relatable character, but at the same time, when they start getting into the time travel aspect of it and getting more into the character and his what's it called? His, oh my god, I can't think of the word.
Friend.
Not friend necessarily. His motivations. Thank you. But yeah, once you start getting into the motivations of his character, he becomes a bit more nuanced, and it definitely works. I wouldn't say it's as predictable as God, what was Remedy's last game? Alan Wake.
Alan Wake, yeah.
Yeah, not as predictable as that, but there are still some things that you'll see in there that are like, yeah, they've done this before.
Alan Wake,
yeah,
I love.
It is what it is. See, I liked Alan Wake. There was just one problem with it, which was I felt as soon as I booted that story up, or that game up, and I got through the first level, I was like, oh man, this is totally how they're going to end this game. And I went, oh, but this is a game about a writer. It's not going to be as predictable as that. Totally was. I called that ending from the get-go. It was not anything special, but I still loved the game. It was a really fun game. Had a lot of fun with it. Definitely check it out if you've never played it before. And for those people that picked up Quantum Break, you got it for or digitally, or not even digitally. If you picked up Quantum Break, you got it for free.
Nice. Now, how did you buy Quantum Break?
I bought it digitally on the Xbox One.
Now, did they give you the copy for PC as well then?
That should be showing up here like today. Actually, I just got a notification when I booted up my Xbox.
Hey, Kevin.
About it.
Kevin.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
It's already called.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Had it not been something that my cousin and I actually went in halvesies on it, I bought he gave me $30. I bought the Xbox version, and he gets the PC version. So
can I buy him out?
Am I going to sell out my blood in order to help you out? Get with me later.
$10 extra. I will give you $40. I'm kidding.
Talk to me later. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wouldn't do it. And I would love to be able to say that if you and I were to ever go in on a game, I would never do that, put you in that situation.
Yeah, and I would never expect you to do it to somebody else. But I was just like, if on the off chance it was still available.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. If it hadn't already been called,
indubitably.
It's all you.
What do you think? What is going on your screen? Because it is super crazy watching the light reflect back off of your.
Should be stopping now.
Okay.
It's my TV going into like screensaver mode. I guess you call it. Yeah, I'm turning it off right now.
Gotcha. Get a little more stable on that light there. Well, anything else been taking up your time as far as the video gaming community goes?
As far as the video game community goes, let's see. Street Fighter, Quantum Break. Been doing a co-op run of Divinity: Original Sin on Xbox One.
That's a good one. Dylan, do you own that one? It also helps if you're unmuted when you're talking, by the way.
I wasn't talking very loudly.
Oh, okay.
No, I have Divinity Dragon Commander, apparently.
Ouch.
That is not nearly what we were talking about here.
I know. I was like, Divinity complete disappointment.
If you see that on sale, pick that up because you and I should play that, and Kevin Kirk is going to tell us why.
So it is one of the most true to form D&D style games to come out on both now console and PC. It is if anyone's ever played Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights, plays almost exactly like these games. And it even has the co-op aspect where you and your your friend or whatever can control two of these characters. It's such a solid game, solid gameplay, solid story writing. I'm loving the story. This is actually the farthest I've gotten in the game. Had to put it down after a while just because I got stuck picking the wrong character in classes and leveling improperly. So that is definitely something to watch out for, but it is just a fantastic game.
Man, I played a rogue.
Yes.
And like for the first 3/4 of the game, stealth feels worthless as an attack. Like backstab and all that feels worthless, and stealth as an action in combat feels worthless until you get it up all the way. And then all of a sudden it only costs like 1 action point to go stealth, and your stealth is like 100%, so you just disappear, and then you backstab, and then you disappear, and you backstab, and you disappear, and you backstab. Plus, with that stealth, holy shit, dude. Like in that first city, I bankrolled almost our entire area, our entire trip by stealing everything that wasn't nailed down. Like,
yeah,
it was so good.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, there is no real morality system to it. Like, it'll tell you when you steal things. That's about it. If you get caught, the person who you're stealing from probably not going to be as happy about it as you might think.
And then all the people who like them are not happy either.
Exactly. So it's less morality and more, just you screwed up.
By the time Chris and I gave up on that game because there was a glitch that stopped you from being able to beat it, we gave up on it. By the time we gave up on it, we would go into that first city and draw everybody to us and kill everybody. Like,
oh man,
before we logged off, like every night we would just be like, well, we're getting ready to leave. What do you want to do? All right, let's go back to town. Okay, hit this person. Everyone comes in. You all die now.
Wow. So many things are starting to fall into place. Oh. Yeah. No, so actually, since you played the original version of it, because I'm playing the enhanced edition right now, did you always have the teleport pyramids?
To each other?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Your answer came in quite quietly. All right. It felt like something that may have been added on to it, but good to know. Yeah, that is definitely something that is very, very handy.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, we would go around town and then just like, oh, where are you? Oh, teleport.
Yeah, that. I mean, there's even been a couple, I guess they were puzzles, but they were solved probably some very complex way in which one of us threw our teleport cube behind the wall or whatever and just teleported to it.
We tried
to do that chest.
With the there was a glitch at the end of the game, and you're supposed to be able to knock down this wall and throw your teleport thing in there, and that's how you get in. Like, that is required of you to get through this part. But it wouldn't let us teleport into it. So
that blows.
We just threw our things in there, and then they're gone.
Ooh.
So
yeah,
it was quite maddening.
Ouch. Yeah. Well, I know they announced a second one for Original Sin, so very excited for that.
Same here.
I think it's still up on Kickstarter.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, should be good. Should be very good.
Awesome, Kevin. Well, thanks for keeping us in the loop there. And every time you come on, we got to keep you on a Street Fighter kick. So you can be our resident Street Fighter person guy.
Connoisseur.
There you go. Hey, Fingernails McGee.
Yo.
What have you been playing this week, buddy?
Not a lot. Just still doing the work thing, but one thing that now that Lambert's back, we've been playing a lot of. Some of you will cringe on this. Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Why would I cringe? That game's awesome.
Man, he and I have had some freaking epic battles between the two of us. Like I wish I could have recorded some of these. Like both of us we just stopped.
What were you playing
and
it
looked
on?
at each other. PS4.
So you say you wish you could have recorded that.
We didn't realize it was going to be like that, so we weren't recording.
You don't need to. You hit share, and it takes the last like.
See, we didn't think about it. We were just mind blown at how awesome that was, and we were so eager to play the next round that it just kind of.
Yeah.
This is why
got subsumed
people.
Into.
You need to know your equipment. I play with my equipment every day, so I know everything about it.
What you do in your free time is on you, dude.
that was all at the expense of that joke. Sorry, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can we flash a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen?
Sorry. Yes. So go ahead.
I don't even remember where I left off now.
Injustice: Gods Among Us, and how
Justice
awesome.
Gods Among Us. Yeah, and so it just kind of got subsumed into that, but subdued,
No, I think you're right.
Whatever.
It's submitted.
It got folded into all the other stuff.
That works.
And
Sublimated?
I tried.
Turned into a gas.
And then I don't know. And then I mean, it was just round after round after fight, and then you start like changing characters and stuff, and we're trying to learn a couple, and now he just got Mortal Kombat
X.
No, he wants to get to that point.
9.
But he's the kind of person that plays. Yeah, the trilogy, pretty much.
9.
3.
Oh, so no.
3?
What is he playing it on?
PlayStation 3.
Did they have Mortal Kombat or
Mortal Kombat
Arcade?
3 Ultimate?
No. I'm not saying Mortal Kombat 3 before PlayStation 3. I'm saying Mortal Kombat, whatever it is a trilogy of some kind.
Well, PlayStation 3
It's
had
a trilogy.
Mortal Kombat 9.
Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 is a basically reboot of the series, which encompasses Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, and 3.
Yep, which was
It is
so
called
good.
Mortal Kombat, but is commonly referred to by the fans as MK9.
Yes.
So I think that's where the confusion is coming in.
Yes, that is indeed. I didn't realize that it wasn't. I forgot. Yeah, it's just called Mortal Kombat on that. That was such a good reboot, man. Like,
Yes, it was.
I loved it so much, and I had so much hope for Mortal Kombat 10. And Mortal Kombat X has been good, but I think that they kind of blew their load a little bit on that first one. I really think they should have just continued with the canon they had, and then move into the new stuff. Like, because you already had an established canon. Like, I was looking forward to seeing like the Shinnok and Quan Chi team up, and like Deadly Alliance and all that good stuff. And they didn't do it. They went this alternative route with these new but old characters.
Well, I think that actually worked for them. While I wasn't a huge fan of that story in MKX, they left that open-ended with either future games or DLC or what have you. They can go back and work on Deadly Alliance and Armageddon, those kind of things, because we know where they ended in 9, we know where they started in 10. We don't know how they got there.
True. I just want to have Adema play Immortal again for the intro of a game.
I just want Injustice 2. Like, that would definitely make my day.
That would
I did
be really
every
cool.
one of those Star Labs trials and got
Nice.
a Flash skin for it. Don't play Flash. Had to after that.
Right?
Yeah, got
Oh
3
my
stars
gosh.
on every one of those things. Some of them, pretty sure that's why one of my controllers stopped working.
The thing I had about Injustice Among Us, Injustice, was that there wasn't, to me, enough variety in the combat mechanics. Like, I come from a background of liking like Soul Calibur, and that game seems very, very stripped down, even compared to like Street Fighter. Like as far as the stuff you can do, as far as supers, like they had a bunch of stuff you could have played off of there, and each character seems to have like one real superpower, and then you have that one super ability they can do, and that's about it. Like they had a whole bunch there I thought to work with, and I felt like they kind of went a little lackluster on those mechanics there, but I like the idea of what they had.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
We can't both
well,
be
there
right.
wasn't
It's okay.
a huge, yeah, yeah, that's great. Well, they didn't have a huge, like I would say, diversity in what their whole character base was, because it could have really been broken down into you were either a power, a technical, or a gadget character, which is like realistically that was their whole roster was broken into those three categories. But I felt like each of them played different enough. Like I didn't feel like from playing Batman to playing Batgirl that I was playing the same character.
Oh no, I think you misunderstood.
Like,
I think you misunderstand what I mean. I think they all had their each individual feel. I just didn't like the lack of variety of moves inside those different individuals. So like you had a character who like Batman, I think was the character who had the most moves in as far as specials go. I'm a special guy, dude. Like I like having specials, I like having variety. And I really felt that they didn't really have that in those move lists. Like you'd have like one thing and then it would augment it, right? You can have an augment that would make it better. And right, I felt they relied too much on that as a thing to not they relied on that too much, and they didn't have enough different specials in there, right? So if you had like Cyclops would have like, oh, I shoot my eye lasers, and then you had, I know, shut up. This is just an example because I can't think of a blaster person in DC. Okay, fine. Slade.
Okay.
Slade has a laser rifle. Is that better? Did that fix that little issue?
He has a rifle.
Yeah, he has a rifle.
He has a rifle. He's got some pistols.
And he shoots that laser rifle. And then if you augment it, it gets a bigger blast. And if you double augment it, it gets a bigger blast, right? Like, that's no fun. Like, I wanted to do different stuff like Street Fighter. That, at least, when I do it, like, when I'm playing, what's her name, Karin, and I do one maneuver, it's base in that other maneuver. So if I do that overhand chop, and if I use the special, it's something similar to that, but it's completely different. And I think that was something that it lacked, and it didn't have those specials either. Like, you had one super move, and that was really cool, but like variety.
So I think maybe we should go back and actually try Injustice for you. Like, or not try it, but go back and get into it, because I think somewhere along the line, like, something got lost for you, because like thinking of Slade specifically, like he had I'd say it was 2 moves with his assault rifle, 2 with his pistol, and then 3 different sword combinations. Pardon. But yeah, you could EX or meter burn, whatever your terminology you want to use for that, each of those to do a different action to either add to it or make it, some of them, a completely different move. It kind of varied character to character. So I'm thinking maybe you just weren't playing like characters that varied enough for you, because yeah, there are some moves that just kind of change the properties a little bit. But I know with Batman specifically, you could hit somebody with his grappling hook, air grappling hook, and it slams them to the ground. However, if you meter burned it, it would bounce them off of the ground so you could continue a combo. So it was things like that it made it just a little bit different, but there were others that, completely changed properties of attacks. So I think maybe we go back into it, get more of a fresh look on it, and it might seem a little different to you.
Maybe I'm just bad at the game.
That is also a possibility.
I didn't say that.
Anyway, what else, Dylan? What's been getting you?
That's pretty much been it. Just kind of getting back into the swing of having Lambert back at home. He's been in Arizona for a while, so and lifing and adulting and being responsible and all that other crap.
Lame.
Sounds
Yep.
like fun.
It's awesome.
All right. Well, that leaves me.
Love it.
I've been really sinking my teeth into that old DS3, so we're gonna talk about that later. I did get a copy for review. They volunteered it and sent it over, and then they gave you one as well, Dylan, which we need to play together. Speedrunners, made by Tiny Build, made by the same group, or published by the same group that did Party Hard. Remember that one, Dylan, that you liked? Yeah, this is made by the same team, or the same guys, or it's associated with them. I have to double check where that really is, but it's a racing game where you have these circuits and tracks that you have to maneuver your way through, and you get power-ups and stuff, and it's really fun. Like, I was having a good time playing it. I actually meant to only put like 10-15 minutes in it earlier, and I ended up putting an hour and a half in. Just
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, I want to do this next match. I want to win. I want to take these guys out. Like, it's you have obstacles in your way. You have a grappling hook, and then power-ups that you can pick up and then use. But it's three or four people just running on this like side scroller, trying to get around this thing. And if you get off the screen, then you're dead. And then it's those people trying to make it. Now, as you're going, you have a certain amount of time before the screen actually starts shrinking. And you see like a gradient, like flashing gradient effect on the edge, just red. And it starts shrinking in until you're working in a box. And like the two, and it's hairpin there, dude. Like the first person that messes up, you're done. Because, I mean, you leave the screen. You're literally in a box that's barely filling, like barely big enough for two characters to run in. It's kind of cool. But Speed Racers, that's in beta right now. And then I played, what else? What was that other game that I played?
Bob Dole Simulator 2016.
Why is it always Bob Dole with you? Bob Dole says Bob Dole. Yeah, Street Fighter, Day of the Tentacle. Yeah, so
I've played this game.
Speedrunners?
Speedrunners. I've definitely played that game.
Oh, have you?
It was an Xbox Live arcade or indie title.
Oh.
Yeah,
well,
sorry.
It is fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It could end some friendships, I will say that.
Yeah, you're just now getting there, and then you go on that jump, that guy shoots that grappling hook that pulls you back, and then all of a sudden he slingshots forward.
Yeah.
It's so great. I was having a blast. And like I said, they gave us a copy for Dylan too, so we'll have to play together, Dylan. We'll see if our friendship really is strong.
All right.
Well, I think at this point we're going to go on to extra points.
Ding.
Yeah, there it was. The part where we talk about the non-video game related stuff, but still electronics maybe, because, I don't know. I like that rule. But, Kevin, what's been your extra points?
Oh. Well, I did recently finish up second season of Daredevil.
Okay.
That was... Oh, sorry.
No, I was
saying something.
You, was it you who wasn't so hot on it a
No.
little while back? Okay.
It was not me.
Okay, because someone else was... Oh, Ryan. It was Ryan. So I got you two confused because you came on saying you were liking it and it was great. Then Ryan came on and was like, oh, yeah, I'm watching the second season. It started good, but then it was crappy. And then I was like, oh, I thought you really, really liked it. I guess I got you two confused. So you still are enjoying the second season.
I thought it was phenomenal. It is very rare that in a show about a comic book character, they so completely capture a character's essence, like what made that comic book character so enjoyable to read about.
Oh, not that essence. Okay, my bad.
No. And I think like just with the whole television series of Daredevil, the Daredevil is the guy playing him, Chris Cox, I want to say his name is. He does a phenomenal job playing both Daredevil and Matt Murdock. And then I felt the same when they introduced the Kingpin in the season 1. They did such a good job
Gomer
making
Pyle.
those. Yeah, it was very, very good. Like I felt like they could not have casted those actors better. And I was really skeptical going into season 2 with the casting of John Bernthal as the Punisher. I will say I have never felt a character more embodied by an actor than I did watching John Bernthal play the Punisher. It was haunting at certain points. Like, you could feel this man just being broken and just the rage inside him. It was amazing. He did such a good job, and every time he was on screen, he stole all of the action. He stole the entire scene. And it was, I mean, just having him there was great. And that entire second season, there was never a point I was sitting there wondering, oh my God, when's this going to be over? I'm trying to go to bed. Like, I was trying to watch as many episodes as I could before I had to go to work in 4 hours.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was pretty much the big one. That Batman versus Superman.
Oh, what'd you think?
I think they had like 2 or 3 good movies that could have been made from that movie. Itself, Batman versus Superman, I did not enjoy as a whole.
How's Bad Affleck?
And that's another problem I had going into it. When it was announced, I thought it was a joke. I thought I was being punked when they said Ben Affleck was going to play Batman. I have never been more happy to be wrong.
Really?
I think of every problem that movie had, not only did Batfleck shine through, he is what I would consider the definitive movie Batman at this point in time. He played such a great Batman. And I know for some people there are some things that won't get into here, but some Batman is he's pretty angry and he's pretty dark at some points. And some people are not going to like where they take it. I will say that even with that, like, that could have all been explained with a solo Batman movie. I'm perfectly fine with where they took it. Every Batman is a different rendition. And just him playing Batman, he played it so well that I'm 100% stoked to see the solo Batman movie when it does come out. I'm perfectly fine, moving forward. I think they did an actually fantastic job with him. So he was probably the best part of that movie. A lot of things they tried, a lot of storylines just didn't pan out, in my opinion. And a lot of the female characters in it were more or less plot devices that were just not necessary at certain points, that really just took away from the experience just by, hostages the entire time. If they weren't being, hostages in one situation, they were hostages in another one. It just got old real quick.
So they're strong female leads is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, we'll go with that. No, Wonder Woman was pretty good. I would have liked to see more of her, but
was she that attractive? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Well, yes, Gal Gadot or Gadot. I'm not entirely sure how you say her last name, but yeah, she was great as Wonder Woman. But you just don't get to see enough of her. You don't get to see enough of her character. They really rushed to try to get in line with where Marvel is. Like, they were trying to make this their Avengers setup movie. And there's actually a meme going around right now that's like, Marvel 5 movies to set up the Avengers, DC an email to set up Justice League. And it accurately describes exactly how they set up their Justice League movie in here. It just felt really, really rushed. Like, they could have made a solo Batman, a solo Superman, maybe even a solo just Batman versus Superman movie. There was just too much going on to really enjoy any one part of the movie.
Well, that's kind of disappointing, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, if you really want to see it, matinee it, or just wait for it to come out and rent it. But I wouldn't give it more than a rental.
All right. Well, thanks for the input there, buddy. Dylan, what's been going down your ocular sockets these days?
I've been watching a lot more Bob's Burgers. I've been ripping through Trailer Park Boys.
Yes.
Actually.
I will not. I will not scold you for talking multiple weeks in a row about Trailer Park Boys. That shows you.
I was gonna say, like, dude, you're right. Like, it's can't stop.
Right? It's
I
one more
can't
episode. It's one
stop.
more episode because they're so short.
I know. So, and the seasons are only like what 5 to 7 episodes long or something like
Yeah, it's like White Castle of video.
that. Yeah, it. I need to order like $30 worth of freaking White Castle now. Apparently.
Yeah, and you're over there. There's a White Castle near you, like within driving
Actually,
distance.
No.
There is a
even- I
White
think I have to
Castle
go all the way
within
to
driving
St. Louis.
distance.
It is. Well, technically, everything's within driving distance for you too. Then.
No, like I'm talking about within a reasonable amount of driving.
So you didn't say that.
Now, when I randomly show up this summer and I call you and I say, "Where the fuck are you? Why aren't you picking me up from the airport?" And you're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I'm in St. Louis. Get your ass here right now." Then we can go and get some White Castle.
Okay.
Can we please stop talking about White Castle now? I'm hungry.
Have you had White Castle?
Yes, I have.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So White Castle. What were we talking
Trailer
about?
Park Boys.
Yes, Trailer Park Boys. So good, right? Like Ricky is terrible. Julian always drinks.
We all have that one Ricky, dude, in our lives.
And
like
if
you
you
were saying.
don't have a Ricky in your life, you know what that means?
You are the Ricky.
You are
Yes.
the Ricky.
The Ricky. Oh God. Like what's your favorite Ricky quote so far? Do you have any yet?
No, I just think it's like, okay, guys, smokes.
Yeah.
Smokes, boys.
Trevor smokes. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, boys. Here we go.
Yeah, it's his boys.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh, dude, Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Hands down, Bubbles.
Yeah. I'm a Jim Leahy
Bubbles
fan
is
myself.
hilarious. What?
Yeah.
Why?
His overarching story is great. Like that, and he is just crazy. Like I love his like.
He is like he goes out there, doesn't he?
And if I'm not mistaken, the actor who plays him doesn't drink.
No kidding.
Yeah. So there's that. It's just a shit sandwich, Randy, with a shit bird and a
Yeah. He just. Yeah.
Can you
That was
imagine like
pretty
trying
cool.
to explain that show to somebody? They're like, why is that fat man following around that guy who's drunk, and why does he have no shirt off, and why is he greasy, and why does that one guy in track pants always like shower in his car, and like like what is going on in this show?
Why is a muscly looking guy always drinking?
Now, listeners, if you haven't seen this show, go watch the first episode of Trailer Park Boys. It's so good.
I can't stop now. It's so bad.
Yes, and by bad, it's good. Yes, hello, puppy. You've decided to come and say hello. My Chihuahua has come and decided to try to jump up on my lap. I do not let him. But awesome Trailer Park Boys. I hope you enjoy that for the rest of the week. And me, myself, and I think I just watched more Brickleberry. It's been kind of a bad week for me. I've been just sleeping a lot, so Brickleberry is always good. And it makes me go, oh, fuck, they went there, and then they went there. Okay, great. That works. So at this point, let's take a quick break, gentlemen, and we will be back momentarily to talk about FromSoft, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, and Demon Souls. We'll get a full read up on Kevin Kirk here, who I'm pretty sure was with Miyazaki when he invented these games. So stick around to hear that story, and we'll be back here after the
Colin.
break.
Holy crap. When did got my blood stain back and then got set on fire by a dragon for at what the time I felt was no reason whatsoever other than welcome to playing Demon Souls. And that was the last I touched that game until Dark Souls came out on Xbox 360.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, played Dark Souls 1 and 2, got every achievement in Dark Souls 2. I mean, played the crap out of Dark Souls, not as much as some of the people out there. I actually have a buddy who did an entire run through of Dark Souls 1 as a level 1 character through New Game Plus 7, which is the hardest difficulty, ran through that the entire way. So
Nice.
yeah, that's some dedication there. But I mean, there are people that have beaten Dark Souls with Rock Band controllers, drum kits. I think they did a Twitch plays Dark Souls and they beat it, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I love these games. They're definitely hard, but when you beat one of the bosses or one of the areas you were having trouble with, you feel like such a badass.
Right? Did you just a quick side, did you beat the first boss in Dark Souls 3 the first time?
I haven't even attempted him yet. I've not been able to put a great amount of time into that game just because of work and outside efforts to keep me from playing it. But tonight is that night.
All right. And unfortunately, you bought it not on PC, so we can't team up together.
That is unfortunate. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? After this, with the servers open, who knows? One day, George.
maybe we can play together. Maybe dogs and cats will sleep in the same bed. The lamb will lay down with the lion. I want to play that so bad. But I have a feeling you will, because I was able to beat him the first time without dying. And
Okay.
I am not good at Dark Souls games. Or maybe I am better now because I liked Demon Souls and I took something back. I do find that we'll get into this in a second. I don't want to get into Demon Soul or Dark Souls 3 yet. We want to keep that. No one's going to want to buy the ice cream truck if we're giving away the popsicles for free. If you know what I'm saying.
Indeed.
Now, Dylan, what's your take on the Darks, Demons, and Bloods, and Souls, and the likes?
So you remember we played, that's been extolled several times on this podcast, that we played back in the day. I kind of just, that left a sour taste in my mouth, man. And
I'll do it to you.
So you never played any of the
Yeah.
Dark Souls games, have you? You played Demon Souls.
no. I had, and then I have Bloodborne on the PS4.
Yeah, but you didn't really care for that. That was like pulling teeth trying to get you to play that.
Pulling
game.
teeth, yeah. So it's like pulling teeth, man.
But I mean, Kevin and I can't both be wrong. So if we both really liked Bloodborne, that means that obviously you're the issue, right?
Sure. I am a flawed person, Jordan.
Because you
Yeah,
don't enjoy
flawed
From
person.
games. Now you're the one that got me back into playing Demon Souls, which is funny because I played that game, and in fact, this is the second time the story can be told, and there are actually two different instances where I told my wife that I wanted money to buy a From game, and she with Bloodborne, she was like, "Oh, I want to get Bloodborne." She's like, "What? I don't know that one. You haven't talked about that one." Like, "Oh, that's from the makers of Dark Souls." I don't know that one either. Which series was that? They also made Demon Souls. Oh, that one I remember. Yeah. The one that we sat on the couch and everything became fuck, and then your controller went flying down the hallway. That game? You want me to give you money so you can buy another game in that vein? And she did. She gave me that money. And then this time, I went to her and I said, "Sweetie, sweetie pumpkin darling, I need money to buy a game that comes out that I'm really excited for, that I've been waiting for, that is it's just been weighing on me, you know." And she's like, we have a little bit of extra money. What do you need? What game are you getting? And I was like, "It's a really good game. From a great company, and I really just want to play this." And she's like, "What game is it?" And I'm like, "It's an adventure setting. It's a dark world where the light's gone out, and you want to. What game is it?" Dark Souls 3. And you guys can't see me, but she went like this, raised the eyebrows slowly, and really, you didn't even You're just gonna yell fuck the whole night. Like, I'm just gonna hear just fuck coming out of the bedroom or the office while I'm in the bedroom. And I'm like, no, see, because I'm better now. I know how to control myself. Ever since the accident, I'm good. So I actually haven't had a spell like that. But I look forward to hearing more about how you take to this, Kevin. And Dylan, cdkeys.com, I'm just saying, you don't got to spend retail for that. But FromSoft games definitely have that kind of unique feel to them where when you die, you know it was your fault. But you just you ever so badly want it to be somebody else's, but you know at the core you done fucked up.
Yeah, no, that guy was totally using a lag switch. He has a bad connection. We've all said these things, and I will admit sometimes they might be true. But we know in our heart of hearts, it's not true 100% of the time. That dude got the drop on you. That's how Dark Souls is. It takes that, puts you in a single player setting, and it can't always be the game's fault. Maybe you just messed up. It's okay to admit it. Happens to everybody.
It does.
Except for me.
It hurts.
It's always the game's fault.
Yes, except for Jordan.
I am the
our
unique.
Lord and Savior.
Yes. Do you remember me going around work going, do you have time for me to tell you about my Lord and Savior Bloodborne?
No, I actually, I didn't. It was like right after Bloodborne came out that I started there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have that game. I do need to play that game. It is currently sitting on my shelf.
You have not played it?
No.
Oh, man. Yeah. You need to play that game. Like, that's the game that made me like FromSoft games again.
Yeah, it's totally on the list. I have too many games right now that I want to say about anywhere between 12 and 15 games that I'm currently playing. So it's a little difficult. Like, I don't want to start that game up and then just add it to the pile. Like, that's a game that I want to be able to just sit down, hammer through. And with Dark Souls 3 out, like, I don't want to start up Bloodborne and then just flip-flop between that and Dark Souls. Like, I want to give them the time they deserve.
Oh, yeah, especially because they control differently.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Sweet.
We'll get there.
I can't believe you haven't played Bloodborne.
It's on the list.
Dylan, how far did I drag you through that game?
I don't even remember because I think it was Town and you were both dragging me through it, weren't you?
It was Ian.
Was it Ian?
Hi, Town. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Town. Hi, Ian. I don't remember.
It was Town. It was Town. You're right.
I'm pretty sure it was Town, dude.
Yeah. That day, I think I and Town played about 7.5 hours of Bloodborne.
Jeez.
Because we ran you through like several of the main bosses. Then we ran him through several of the main bosses. And then we did me through several of the main bosses. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, sounds just like Dark Souls / Demon Souls.
Indeed. I gotta say, Dark Souls 3 looks fantastic. Holy shit. Like on a PC, I don't know about on their Xbox or PS4.
Looks pretty good.
Little consoles.
Console. But yeah, is it a steady 60 on there?
Yeah, steady 60 on the Xbox. So
nice.
It plays great. Just need to actually
play it.
Have time to do it.
What class did you start?
Wanderer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I started
it's
as a
Wanderer first, then Deprived.
Oh yeah, you got to start with that there Deprived. Got to get all that soul level. Yeah,
and that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Just like you can put your points where you want to put them. Nothing is mandatory in that one. And I don't know if you can reset your points in this one like you could in Dark Souls 2. So I don't want to put points into something that isn't going to help me with my build later on in game.
Yeah. I can see that. I played for like 4 or 5 hours, and I think I'm gonna start a new character because
Oh,
I wanted to get a feel for how the mechanics are going to be, how the enemies are going to attack, how
right.
my character's going to attack, and now they have the weapons have special attacks on them now when you're using them in two-handed mode.
Right.
You can prep and like poise and then use an ability that drains your mana even if you're not like a sorcerer. Have you been doing that?
Yeah, it's basically your power attack for all of your two-handed weapons. There were a couple weapons in Dark Souls 2, if I remember correctly, that did uh something similar, like would add magical properties to a weapon even if you didn't have magic. I want to say it was like a Drake sword or something in Dark Souls 2, but yeah, it actually scaled with faith, which was weird. But that was actually one of my favorite weapons. So I
That's a
feel
clear
bad not remembering
extreme.
it. Yeah. Yeah, scaled with faith and I want to say strength and dex.
Sounds that would sound like a weapon that would do that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the way that they're doing magic in this one is definitely different, and I like it. I just need to get used to it a little bit more.
They're doing it with the Estus flask now having a certain amount of charges that you can use for mana now, correct?
Yeah, so that's definitely new. Um yeah, that you know, Estus Flax didn't do anything to your mana. As a matter of fact, you didn't have mana, you had slots for different spells that you could put in.
That would decay over time or something.
Yeah.
I never
Well,
played a
no, they
magic
didn't.
user.
Yeah, they didn't decay. You just had X amount of casts of it.
Gotcha.
So you would, yeah, you could put like 3 fireball spells to it, or I don't even remember Fireball's actual spell. I used Faith in Dark Souls 2, so it was all about that lightning spear
It's all
or
about
greater
that
lightning
faith. About
spear.
that faith. That clergy.
Yep.
Dylan,
Praise the sun, y'all.
what is okay? What is that?
So, in Dark Souls 1, there is an NPC named Solaire. Now Solaire follows the God, I want to say it's the uh, what are the Covenant of the Sun.
Hmm.
And in Dark Souls, you've probably talked to NPCs. Every one of these NPCs seems like they're a hop, skip, and a jump away from running a razor blade down their wrist. Um, they are all pretty depressing ass people. Solaire is just the happiest, like sunniest, like, yeah, sure, I'll help you, chum. And he every time you talk to him, he finishes with praise the sun, does his little praise the sun
Emote.
stance, and he's
Gesticulation.
yeah, he's just he's there, he's abnormally happy in a situation that otherwise is just dark and morbid. So he became pretty much a staple of the Dark Souls franchise, and more or less a meme.
Praise the sun. What is
Yep, praise the
Umbasa?
sun. That's the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay, I hear that in another podcast about Dark Souls. They say that a lot, so I didn't know if that was a Dark Souls reference.
Basa.
Probably one of the NPCs said it. I didn't really talk to them much. Just like I didn't listen to what they had to say much, just because it. I was already depressed enough playing Dark Souls. Like I didn't need to sit here and listen to your depressing ass story. Give me my quest and I'll go on my way.
Now, Dylan, is there any chance you're gonna pick this up?
Maybe. As of right now, I mean, you guys were saying it looks good.
Yeah, it
We
looks
were talking
fantastic.
earlier,
It
George. It
plays,
looks fantastic. Yeah,
yeah, it plays
so
really
it plays
well.
pretty well. So I might.
I want to see if they brought the acrobatic aspect of Bloodborne in, with like the mercenary or the thief, and see if because. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, were they just like faster rolls, or like what is the acrobatic aspect of it?
Well, I guess it was more than just the acrobatics. Like I always felt in Dark Souls, you were pretty slow on the roll. Like you hit the button, your guy would go, roll, and then go, right?
So, sorry, don't mean to cut you off. Please continue.
Are you going to tell me about heavy roll and light roll?
Well, there's actually a few different rolls. You could do a straight up like handstand front flip with your like with not enough weight or a little bit of weight on you. If you took off a lot of your armor, you buffed your, I think it was endurance that was the stat tied to that. Might have even been poise. But yeah, like you could. As a matter of fact, I remember them having to nerf the front flip because you had so much invincibility on it that you couldn't be touched. Like you could just front flip your way through that game without taking that any damage from attacks. Drake Keeper sword. That's what the name of the sword was. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I never got that good at it then, because Dark Souls, it always felt slow. Like are you talking 2 or 1?
Both, actually.
Okay. Because I always felt slow dodging in that game. My character always felt like their movement was slower. Bloodborne is a very, very agile-based, very aggressive-based game. Dark Souls, you're more like shield and turtle, like parry and that. Bloodborne, if you get damaged, it behooves you to get in there and get a few more hits in because it'll regen some of your life.
Okay. Yeah, it's two different playing styles. Neither one is, I would say, better than the other. I haven't played Bloodborne, so I can't really say for certain. Yeah, like from what I keep hearing, Bloodborne is very offensive based. It is all about, like getting as much DPS as you can get. Whereas Dark Souls, like it really felt a lot more to me like picking your moment. Like you had to be reading the situation, get in, if you could get one hit in and then get out, you could take what you got and you left, because any more than that, you were probably eating, a hammer from Ornstein or Smog. Yeah. Ornstein was the Lancer. But, yeah, it felt a lot more like you had to be strategic about the situation as opposed to I'm going to hit you until it stops working, and then I'm going to hit you harder.
Gotcha. I just swing my sword, and then sometimes I dodge away.
If I feel like it, I accidentally hit that dodge button. And,
Actually,
we'll
more
see
often
where it
than
goes
not, I
from there.
accidentally hit the Estus
Flask.
Estus flask button. There, yeah.
Yeah, it. I remember the first time using an Estus flask, or I can't remember what they were called in Demon Souls, but that was another thing.
You just had herbs.
Was it just the herbs?
Yeah.
It was trying to heal with an herb and like in the middle of combat. Yeah, half moon herb.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, I need to heal. Like that guy's standing a little bit away from me. Let me press my potion button and watch my. What are you doing? Stop eating! Hurry up!
Yep. He would just sit there and slowly reach into his pocket and then like put it up to his mouth and just
sit there like a jackass.
Yep. Estus flasks at least are pretty quick, relatively.
Yeah. Yeah, but it does remind me a lot of Monster Hunter, and I played a lot of that. So once I got that down, it became a lot more enjoyable, actually. That, okay, I can't just sit here and heal in front of an enemy. I'm going to get smacked. So, you got to pick your moments.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a really, really good game. And Dylan, now that you're in the middle of the thing, how do you feel about it? Oh.
I'll actually give it a little more consideration. I'll probably end up looking at it because I haven't been paying attention to anything coming out since The Division.
Well, yeah, because that fucking sucked. Let me show you how much you've been playing that game. For how excited you were for it, for convincing several people to buy it. Motherfucker, that game sucks. And you have to answer for it.
With it.
I had fun with it a little bit.
a lack of content. But they did just drop a patch today, so the raid just came out today.
Oh, maybe we'll have to check that out. But Dylan, what level are you now?
I can't even remember, bud.
Shame.
I've never ever told somebody to take less a role in church, but maybe you should pull back on the religious aspect there and get more into the video gaming bits, buddy.
No, I'm good.
Okay, it's your eternal soul, so I understand that.
Yes.
But have you?
I mean, if
do
you
have
want to
time
be
for me
lame
tell you
about
about
it.
the Lord and Savior Bloodborne?
No.
Like,
I have not been informed of this Bloodborne that you speak of.
you hated that game
At
so
least not
much.
the third one.
I can't wait for Bloodborne 2.
17th.
Like,
Or
did
the
you hear they
50th.
announced that? Like, Kevin was there when they announced that Bloodborne 2 was coming out.
Dude, you're gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
No, we're just if you say it actually happened. No one can fact check this, Kevin. No one fact checks anything.
Hey, Kevin, were you there?
No.
Okay,
End
hey,
of
Jordan,
discussion.
you're full of crap.
Oh man, I love From games, but yeah, I'm waiting for it where I'm gonna walk up, I'm gonna go around a corner, someone's gonna drop a boulder on my head, and I'll lose like 30,000 souls, and then
What
I'll
were
just
you
go to
doing
bed.
carrying around 30,000 souls? That's your first mistake. Second of all, why'd you just walk around a corner? You know good and damn well everything in that game wants you dead. If you are not walking
You
around
spin
holding
that
your shield
camera.
up, you are doing it wrong.
I ignore all the messages on the ground.
And that's always been a thing of Dark Souls that I really enjoyed, was that while it is sometimes hilarious watching these blood stains,
Yes.
for those of you that don't play Dark Souls or have no idea what we're talking about, it is for the most part, a single player experience where you can summon friendly NPCs or friendly PCs into your game. So it is co-op play available
And PvP.
and PvP. We'll get to that in a second. If you die in Dark Souls, it leaves a blood stain right where your character died, or about 10 to 15 seconds before where your character died. So anybody else playing Dark Souls can see your blood stain on the ground, even if they're not on your friends list. It is just, generated into their world. They see this blood stain. They can then examine the blood stain. It shows a ghost of your character, and you can't see any external like enemies or traps or anything. All you see is this guy was walking forward into a hallway, and then all of a sudden he died. Huh, that's strange. So you now have to determine, okay, why did he just fall over? He fell straight to the ground. Think there's a trap there. Or, that guy started walking and then all of a sudden staggered back like he got hit like 4 times. Pretty sure there's an enemy waiting around that corner, and you can plan accordingly. So
That, and people can also
really
leave
did
messages there too.
Yeah, they leave messages there. Just, hope to God that there's no large-chested woman in the game, because 90% of the messages are, amazing chest ahead, or random ledges that have a chest here or jump here for secret. Yeah.
I never follow those.
I can't even say never, because there are some places in Dark Souls that are like, if I didn't have somebody that didn't tell me, like, look, I promise you, watch me do this, I'm not going to die. There's a secret down here. And I watch him do it and he doesn't die, I would have just been like, no, you're screwing with me and you're bad and should feel bad.
You're bad.
But they definitely can hide their secrets. They definitely know their level design. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
They are on point with it.
Very, very much so. Well, I think we're going to start, since I think you and me, Kevin, have kind of dominated this conversation. Dylan, do you have any closing thoughts on this?
Well, from what you guys are saying, it sounds like it'll be definitely something I should probably take a look at. I will try to revisit once the finances get straightened out. But yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
No, he can do that motion. You can't.
Yes, I can.
He's a minority. I'll allow it.
See?
Okay.
Butthole. Shut up, round eye.
Shut up, round eye. Just with like not even breaking stride. Awesome, Kevin. What are your final thoughts on Dark Souls 3? At least for the this initial.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into it and fully enjoy this game. I just really hope that I'm going to be able to find more time.
I'm with you, and I think I agree with that. I'm looking forward to see that maybe they have brought Dark Souls 3 into the modern era and gave us a game that takes advantage of those consoles, and not just the physical way, but with like the memory they have, that we can have like better systems in check for Dark Souls and have things work even though you're running at 60 frames a second, and not have your weapons decay 50% faster because they're not running at 30. So it's good to see they got those fixed. I haven't run into any terrible bugs yet, but it's a
there are
game.
No bugs in Dark Souls. It's just features.
Gotcha. Yep, of course. Well, on that note, we have some features on our website, GameOutLoudPodcast.com. You can also find us on Twitter at GameOutLoudcast or at GameOutLoudPodcast@gmail.com. That's an email, I think.
How do you spell the blah, 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 blah?
BLABLADBLA. You can't forget that D in there.
You're saying it way too fast.
That's fine. Just go back and listen to it, and then extrapolate how to spell it based on those 3 inputs. Yep, you got. Yes, you've got it. You can also find us on iTunes, where I'm hoping you will rate and subscribe, because it's good to subscribe to things you like. I subscribe to feeling happy. Maybe you should subscribe to the podcast, and maybe that'll make you happy. You should see. Also, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your wife, tell your dog. Like get everybody on board. You know, like maybe you should drive down the street, and just throwing it out there. Just hook a megaphone to the top of your car, blasting the podcast. I do this every day, and it does wonders for people. People are giving me hand gestures all the time. And they're yelling things all the time, and it's great. Like I get such a response.
It's true. They're so happy they chase him down the street.
Indeed. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And next week we'll have Rob back, and I think there's going to be some nepotism going on again with his uncle will be coming on to join us. So. We'll see about that. Maybe something will change, and I'll just be like, hey, Kevin, you want to be on the podcast again? Because you always seem to be down to be on the podcast, which I'm happy about.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm always happy to be here.
Sweet. And thank you, Dylan, for also showing up.
Always, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for having me on.
And, of course, listeners, as always, thank you for tuning in this week. And, yeah, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and have a good week.
Don't do anything I would do.